a lot more opportunity to serve people, not only our wonderful students, but also people that come in for services and such. Hi, come on in, welcome. Good evening. As a representative of the school, I just want to share a little bit about Aveda and who Aveda is from a product manufacturer perspective. And then I'll share a few words about this school and what we do here as a school that carries Aveda, but also we have our unique points of difference as well. And Tamara, will you be introducing everyone individually, or do you want me to just focus on Aveda tonight?
Whichever you feel comfortable with.
Okay. Okay, that's wonderful. Yes, Tamara and I are close friends. She is an SDology graduate of the school, and so we found each other outside of here and also knew each other first from here. So it's definitely a special relationship. But we're gonna go ahead and get started with about a 1.5-minute video of Aveda. So enjoy. I'm gonna dim the lights and get the video started, put us in the mood. And we're not ready just yet. One moment.
Do you want to try the TV maybe?
I wonder if, sometimes technology is a little bit of a thing. We're gonna work through this. Okay, Monique, I feel like I need your expertise here.
I swear.
It was just working. So there is movement in here, right? We'll see. There goes. Okay. Monique, thank you so much.
My God, it's endless. We're a great country.
Okay, very good. So Aveda, I'm going to recite our mission and then talk a little bit more about it. Our mission at Aveda is to care for the world we live in, from the products we make to the ways in which we give back to society. At Aveda, we strive to set an example for environmental leadership and responsibility, not just in the world of beauty, but around the world. And what this means for us is it really truly is a cornerstone to how we do beauty differently. And beauty can mean a number of things to a number of individuals based on where they grew up, what was reinforced to them from societal values. Maybe it's a cultural thing. But at Aveda, it really is about how we make other people feel and our behaviors that represent beauty. And in the Aveda mission, it talks about caring for the environment, caring for others, giving back, leadership, sustainability. And here at the school specifically, as we put this mission into focus, is we teach our students that they've entered a life of service when they come to school here, whether they're pursuing massage therapy, which we have our massage therapy students with us tonight, our esthetology students, which are our esthetology or esthetician, soon to be individuals. Summer, she's a graduate of the school as an alumni. She's here tonight and will give a few words. And cosmetology, barbering, hairstyling. And essentially, not only are we doing the technical service to make someone look beautiful, but it's in our delivery that makes people feel beautiful. So in the video, you saw that there was a statement about sensorial experiences, and that is really using the 5 senses to connect someone to what it is we're doing, whether it's taste, smell, touch, seeing, or hearing. And our students learn a number of rituals to make the service far more special tonight. We're excited to give you smaller size versions of our massage therapy treatments and our facial treatments to show you and demonstrate what it is that we do differently. But in addition to the technical aspect and living a life of service and how we want others to feel when they're with us, we do a lot here from a nonprofit perspective. Not only do we bring wonderful workshops in to diversify our students' experience, but we also do a lot of give back, a lot of donation, fundraising. This in the year of 2021, starting at this point last year. So if we look at July 1st all the way through June 30th of 2022, we've raised almost $50,000 as an organization, where we gave 100% of those proceeds back to our local, national and global environment, whether it was for clean water efforts, it was for breast cancer awareness, it may have been for, or it was, not even may have been, it was for childhood cancer, St. Baldrick's. We also work with the Children's Hospital here locally. We've been partnered with them for 10 years doing hair and makeup for their teen prom event that happens every year in May, which is really special, and so much more. We donate gifts for holiday season for individuals that wouldn't otherwise have gifts to give their children. This last year, 1,500 people in the Broomfield, Thornton, Westminster area came to pick up gifts, and our students and team donated 500 of the thousands of gifts that were available. So service is near and dear to our heart here at Aveda. It definitely is our owner, Dale Lamont's vision, and we do a lot here on campus. And really part of beauty is how we behave and how we give and how we make other people feel. So I could go on, and I definitely know that that is not my place tonight, but I feel so honored that Tamara and I were able to connect and that we could bring this together. I want to thank our students who are showing up this evening with an open heart and really willing to give nice experiences for our very special guests this evening. Yeah. And welcome, Tamara.
Hi.
Are you next?
I am.
Okay.
So, Joanne, before you leave,
yes.
tell
I'll
us
stay
your
here.
background in the beauty industry, because this is all about beauty. So we want to know more. How did you get into the beauty industry?
Yeah, that is a great question. After high school, my parents said, you have to go to college, 100%. I couldn't do a trade. And I'm thankful for that looking back on it, but if I could have just gone right into a trade, I would have chosen cosmetology or esthetology. I was someone growing up that put barrettes in my dad's hair when I was 3 years old. I put barrettes in my hair, my dolls. I never played with the Barbies. I played with their hair, cut their hair, etc. It was something that I loved doing, and definitely a creative outlet. I specifically loved makeup, and I always did my friends' makeup for prom and for weddings, and it was my creative outlet. I put makeup on to the color I was wearing, blue, turquoise, purple, whatever it was. And, you know, as I pursued traditional education for a while and my path was moving in higher education in a number of ways, I definitely hit a stalling point. A very specific situation happened that opened my eyes to me choosing a different path in my life. And I knew that irregardless of what anyone ever said to me 20 years ago, I chose to stop what I was doing and go back to school. And I pursued esthetology. And I knew that the day that I put my hands on the first face that I was working on, which was one of my fellow students, I knew it was a divine moment where nothing else in my life at that point in time ever felt more right for me. And I knew that this is how I was going to put my psychology background into place and make other people look and feel beautiful. So I got licensed and I started working in a spa, and this was in San Diego at the time. And then I moved back out here, which is where I'm pretty much from since I was 5 years old. And that was the course of school, starting my journey, and especially when I got back here and doing all the things that I've done to land where I am now.
Thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for sharing.
Yes.
Give her a
Okay, I got this.
Would you like to share your
And you look like a Barbie.
Oh, that is so kind of you to say, and
You just
thank
need a
you.
little bit more blonde hair.
Well, you know, good thing is not all Barbies are just blonde anymore.
Well, I didn't realize that, but I knew when I was growing up, they were all blonde.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, we've come a long way, haven't we? Good thing, Mattel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also want to introduce Monique.
Hi, everyone. My name is Monique. I'm our spa team lead here, and I'm so excited to be here to help coordinate this event. I'm just kind of going to be floating around the background, making sure everything runs nice and smoothly here. But I have a different story getting into Aveda, the esteology world, skincare. My mom was a Mary Kay consultant when I was younger, so she did inspire me with makeup, and I started out in makeup and doing makeup for friends and family, and then for some weddings and a dance competition team. And it was actually having my daughter that created cystic hormonal acne all over my face and made me just super insecure. I had never even had like a pimple my entire life, and it really kind of did a number for my mental health. And I went from makeup being a focus to skin being a focus, and then wanting to help other people who might be experiencing the same thing. And so that led me into this industry and touring schools. I found Aveda was my third stop and my last stop because I was instantly connected with the mission, the culture, so much so that I became a student, was about a month into the program, and I could not wait to hopefully make an impression on Joanne and come back as a team member. And I've been here for almost 3 years now, and I'm no longer with my hands on guest faces trying to improve their mental health and make them feel beautiful inside and out, but hopefully inspiring and empowering my team to teach our students to do that for so many more. So thank you all so much for being here. And I do have a little gift that I will pass out later to just a little piece of wellness for you to take home with you after today to continue practicing self-care and wellness. I think that we all get so busy and we forget to take time for ourselves to nurture ourselves, mind and body. So you'll find a little bag of our comforting tea, that's peppermint and licorice root, one of our essential oil, or not essential oils, body aroma oils, that's either beautifying or our signature shampoo aroma that you can put in the bath, on your body, on your cuticles, in your hair, pretty much anywhere. And we also have a little amethyst crystal, which if you haven't noticed, we have our amethyst everywhere. We love our amethyst. It promotes spirituality, oh my gosh,
I am
intuition.
an amethyst. That's my birthstone.
Oh. So there's a little tiny heart amethyst in there too, just as another little special
I
gift.
got my
So.
amethyst ring.
Oh, that's nice.
Birthstone.
Well, so nice to see you all. Thank you all so much for being here.
I also want to introduce another educator, Brenda Holty. Brenda, if you can stand up and say hi to everybody. Hi.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh,
We're going to put her on the spot a little bit because Brenda is a new osteology instructor here.
2 months.
2 months in. I'd love to hear how you got into it, and she was also a teen mom.
Yes. So I learned about the position through Joanne, and I asked her if there was any openings, and I applied, and I interviewed with Monique, and I passed. But I currently do work at a spa. I work at Life Spa in Parker, and I'm there twice a week. So I do everything that we do here with our students. I'm a technical instructor, so I'm hands-on. Whatever they need help with, and I do spa checks, which I walked into a great class because they're really advanced. They really don't need me, but I like to feel needed. So But yes, I was pregnant at 15. I had my first daughter and had my second daughter at 17. So when I heard that you are going to be, that you have an organization that helps teen moms, I was touched because it's near and dear to me. I've been there, and I just kind of want to let you guys know that there's hope. It's hard, but if you if you have the support, you're gonna get through it, because if hard is all you know, you do it, right? You don't even think twice. It's like you're a mama bear, you just do it. But yeah, people would always ask, you're like, oh, it's so hard. How did you do it? How did you do it? I just did. I'm also the oldest of 5. I have 4 siblings, and I kind of was like their mom first before I had my own kids. So it was like a smooth transition. No, I'm not saying that you should be a teen mom, because it's really difficult, but that's how I got started. But anyways, I'm happy to be here and learn more about your organization. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I wanted you all to know these wonderful people here who've made this possible. So let's give them another hand again. And so my name is Tamara Hill. I'm an Aveda alumni. With my friend here, Summer, we both graduated in November 2021. We were in different classes, but I'm going to introduce her in a moment. And she came to our class one night. I thought she was so beautiful and smart and sassy. And then I talked to her and saw she has a real heart for people. And that's what this whole night is about. And so I want to give a special introduction to our guests. We have 2 ministries here. One is with the House of Purpose with Nancy Buckner. If you can stand up and say hi. And if you're from the House of Purpose, raise your hands. We know who you are. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And then we have Hope House with Jenny and Emmy. Please stand. Thank you. And so anyone from Hope House, raise your hand. All right. So we thank you so much. This is for you. This is for you. And so why are we doing this? So my name is Tamara Hill, and I have a new organization called, well, not too new, Getting Traction organization. If you know anything about starting businesses, you can start them, but it takes time to get the momentum. And I started my business, Try Life Media, 5 years ago. And it started getting momentum in 2021, so last year, really. Actually in 2020, the end of 2020. And so Try Life Media, my primary program is a lifestyle brand called LiftOff. And LiftOff, the whole purpose of LiftOff is to help transform local communities through faith, education, and empowerment. And so LiftOff is a way that I do that. So the primary brand is Lift Off Your Finances. People like to talk about money. We went into the pandemic, and my first brand was Lift Off from Layoff to help people with their jobs and job losses. You remember all the people who lost their jobs in the pandemic? And so when I was talking about it, nobody was interested. And so someone suggested to me, why don't you focus on finances? And I said, okay, I can do that. And boom, it took off. So now I have a weekly television program and radio program that's broadcast across the nation. And it takes biblical wisdom and practical tips to equal financial transformation. Now, even if you're not a Christian, you'd be surprised. A lot of my viewers don't profess that faith. They say, what you're talking about is good. I didn't think about it that way. I want to check you out. What do you think about my 401k? Should I pull out right now during this recession? So I get all kinds of people. And so that's what I love about LiftOff, is for everyone. And so tonight, this is the actual kickoff event for Lift Off Your Beauty. Lift Off Your Beauty is the one that's deepest in my heart, because I can relate to each one of your stories. I've been the oldest child. I have a degree and went back and did this 20 years later to become an esthetician. Like you, Monique, I was always into makeup, had the acne, and made me want to help other people. I just want you to see the diversity of leadership here, so you know that if you're considering a career in beauty, it's for everyone. And I can honestly say, out of any role I've ever had, beauty has been the most accepting industry of me. I started my career as a professional journalist, print and broadcast, very competitive, very looks-oriented, all of that. And so as I went to work in the beauty industry, I started working in the beauty industry after I got divorced, and I needed extra money, and I just fell in love with it. And so for 15 years, almost 15 years, I was a makeup artist in Houston with the MAC team, and we helped community events. We did the Latin Grammy Awards. We did lots of fashion shows. We worked with HIV/AIDS survivors to help them feel good. All women, all ages, all races, all sexes, that's the motto of MAC. So when I came here, the motto and the mission and vision of Aveda seemed very similar about helping people, helping the environment, recycling, but really that community piece. And so that's how I ended up here at Aveda. And so Lift Off Your Beauty, really, what kind of inspired me with that piece is that when I was doing all that makeup over the years, talking to people, you could see the most confident person, well-dressed, carrying an expensive bag. I worked in Saks Fifth Avenue, carrying these $3,000 purses, and they had low self-esteem. If you would ask them how they felt, the first thing they would say is, what's wrong with them? If I didn't have these wrinkles, if I didn't have this acne, I've had several kids and none of their dads married me. I'd hear all kinds of stuff. So it became very obvious to me at that point, like, you know what, when I'm doing more than just makeup. I'm really helping people. And I want the students to know that as you enter this industry, you have the opportunity to transform somebody's outlook about themselves. And so I made up my mind very early, even though I was myself suffering through a divorce. I was like, this is not about me. When I'm in here, I'm about my clients, and it's my goal to say something positive to them to kind of redirect their thinking. And it happened every single time. I am a person of faith. We have faith ministries here. So I did pray before I started my work. And every time I would think, what can I say to this person? Even if it was saying, you're beautiful. Or if someone says, oh, I'm just wrinkled and old. Like, no, you're not. You know what? What's going on? The way you look shows your achievements in life. You got to look this way. You earned that. Some people don't even make it past 30. We learned that in the pandemic, right? So it really is a gift to age. If you have acne, as you talked about, Monique, I've had it too. I love my skin. It still flares up. It's flared up now. I had too much ice cream. But I know that, and I know what to do. And I'm like, this is my skin, and I really do love it. It taught me how to be sensitive to other people's needs because I had to really care for my own skin care. So Lift Off Your Beauty, like I said, this is the kickoff event. This is all about just sharing encouragement and love and helping us to really think about how we define beauty. When I speak, I'm just introducing everyone now. I'll tell you why that's so important to me, because I had the wrong beauty ideals really early in life. And my life was going in the wrong direction. So I'll talk to you about that more. But first, I want to introduce our special guest. One is right here. Come on up, Summer. Put you in front of the camera.
Oh. Hi, everyone.
So Summer says, I am a 22-year-old esthetician who received her license in February. Congratulations. This is what I was telling you about with Summer. When I met her at night, she was doing some makeup hours and I was doing my regular hours. And she told me, I'm starting the skincare line, Interstellar, that provides all natural, customizable skincare at an affordable price. And she works currently at Jalan Facial Spa in downtown Denver. That's super nice. And she enjoys researching product knowledge and helping guests reach their greatest potential through relaxation. And so I wanted Summer to come because she really has that heart for community, like I mentioned. And if you're in these classes, it's hard going to night school. I mean, it was really hard doing those makeup, stay until 10:30 at night. Maybe you get a lunch, maybe you don't. I wanted you to hear from someone, not just myself, that it's worth it. So I encourage you, students, all of our guests, please reach out to us. If you have questions about the career, reach out to our educators to learn more. And is there anything you wanted to say at all?
Thank you all for coming. I really enjoy the communal aspect of this all, and I really believe that everybody is beautiful, and beauty is just a matter of confidence. I believe that by reaching that point of confidence, that point of beauty, you will be able to further improve your mental health. What we do on the inside really shows on the outside and vice versa. It is a journey that's meant to be taken together. So thank you so much for coming, and I'm really excited.
Thank you. Next we have Miss Colorado. Come on up, Andrea. So I'm going to introduce her, and then I'm going to stop so she can speak. And I've been talking so much I didn't play the PowerPoint.
With the tech.
go. All right, let's see. Okay, so I skipped this slide, but this is what we're doing tonight. And just to give a rundown, we're doing our introductions. We have our speakers, which is going to start with Anna Gabriella. We have a break, and then we'll do our services. We'll have a closing prayer if anybody's interested. Nobody has to pray. And then we'll have dinner. We have food for everybody, so give that a hand. Yay! All right, and so we're at Anna Gabriella. We talked about summer, and now we're going to talk about you. So Anna Gabriella was born in Mexico, but she's lived here for the past 15 years. She won the International United Miss Colorado 2020, Miss Royalty America 2019, Miss Denver from National American Miss 2018. So let's give her a hand. So she now travels teaching kids manners and social etiquette. She just had her first year anniversary with her husband. Congratulations on that. And her mom is here.
Yes.
My beautiful mom. What is your mother's name? Laura. Laura. Hi, Laura. Thank you for coming. And so I'm going to turn it over to Anna Gabriella because I think that, we all had a journey to get to where we are and just would love to hear more about yours.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello everyone. I want you to see the screen, so maybe I'll sit down because I have a lot of slides, but hopefully I can move it. So yes, my name is Anna Gabriella Adams. As you heard, I am from Mexico, which hence the long first name. All Hispanics have long and complicated first names. It's just the way it is, but you can call me Gabrielle. That works too. So I thought we would dig right in. All of our estheticians probably, you've all been in the beauty industry for a while, so you know quite a few things, but I just thought we'd start from the beginning. Beauty, according to Cambridge Dictionary, is the quality of being pleasing, especially to look at, or someone or something that gives great pleasure, especially when you look at it. Now, when I first saw this definition, I thought it was really interesting because if you've ever noticed fashion trends or beauty trends over time, what is considered pleasing to look at has changed, sometimes drastically, decade after decade. And let's just look at a few examples, shall we? So this is probably pretty common, right? Hair, the long, sleek, smooth, maybe get a little color change. Now, if you thought that right now in the 2020s we valued volume in our hair, well, you should have been in the 80s. Bam!
That was my style. Maybe for you.
Hairspray was mandatory, ladies. You either poofed your hair or you poofed your hair. There was nothing less than this. And then, you go to the 1940s and it was a lot more sleek. The curls were a lot more defined. But as you can see, just in 80 years, how much hair has changed and the standard and the trend has changed. You can see this in fashion. You can see this in makeup. One that's really dear and close to my heart, and I'll tell you why in a moment, are eyebrows. So back in the 90s, it was really common to have really thin, almost overplucked eyebrows. That was the common trend. And then in 2010, which I'm sure most of us are familiar with, it was really common to have the sleek, beautiful, Instagram-worthy eyebrows, right? And as you know, I was in the pageant system. And when I first competed in my first pageant, even though I did win Miss Denver, you can ask my mom, I had, in my opinion, the bushiest eyebrows. And it actually was something that made me feel really insecure because it wasn't the standard, it wasn't the trend. And even though I did win, I felt slightly insecure about it. And so, finally, no joke, 2 years after I finally got the eyebrows of my dreams, I got rid of my poofy, bushy eyebrows. You know what became the trend? Bushy eyebrows. And so, how then can you feel constantly beautiful if the standard of beauty or what is considered pleasing to look at is constantly changing? And so I came up with a simple a simple
Equation.
equation. Thank you, Mom. My mom. That's why I bring her. A simple equation. Now, I am a Christian, and a lot of what I'm going to share are tips and things that have helped me. Like I said, I've been in the beauty and pageant industry a lot, and so I've had to face, the feeling of wanting to compare myself and the feeling of maybe not being good enough or pretty enough. And maybe like you've struggled maybe with mental health. I went through battles like that too. And so this is an equation that has helped me, and hopefully you will find some help from that too. So let's talk about love first. Now, the problem isn't that you can't follow the trends, right? Trends are great. Put on the makeup, do the hair, do all the things. The problem is when you place your value and your worth and your beauty on the standards of this world. Because what happens is that it's inconsistent. And so you'll always feel like you have to lose 1 more pound, have 1 more outfit, buy that 1 more makeup product. And especially as estheticians, right, you might feel like you're not good enough. You always have to do more. And that's what happens when you place your worth on standards that are inconsistent. So what's the solution for that is you need to find something that is consistent, and that is the love of God. In the Bible it says that it doesn't matter, you can tell me right now, I don't really know very much about God, and God can't possibly love me. You don't know what I've done. You don't know what mistakes I've walked away from God. Like, I don't know what your story is. But what I know is what the Bible says. And the Bible says that God showed how much he loved you when he gave up his one and only son to die for you. And it wasn't that we loved God first. It was that he loved us first. Amen. And he pursued you first. And so when you're feeling like you're not good enough and you're not beautiful enough and you're not worthy enough, I don't care what excuse you give me or what enough you give me. This is truth. This is consistent, and you are loved. You are not unwanted. You are not a mistake. You are loved. And so that is the first part of the equation, truth number 1. Hold on, before we get that. This is a really important picture. I have a car, and it has caused a lot of controversy in my life. So raise your hand if you think this car is green.
Oh, green.
Raise your hand if you think it's yellow.
Yellow.
What? Okay, well, my car has caused so much controversy that my school had a debate about my car, and I didn't even know about it until later. The students were having a debate about my car. It has caused so much controversy that one time my mom was at home just chilling out, and she suddenly gets a knock at the door, and there's a kid standing at the front door, and he's like, hey, could you please tell me what color your car is? And it was just a random kid we'd never met before. He just came up to the door because he was like, my sister and I, she's out there, we're having a debate, and we can't decide what color the car is. And so anyway, my husband, he thinks it's yellow, I think it's green. So I figured I would settle this once and for all. And I thought, who would better know what color this car is than the manufacturer, right? Only the creator could really know it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. The creator, the manufacturer, is the only one who truly knows. And if you must know, it's isotope green. So it is green. You thought yellow. Sorry. But it's the same for you, right? You are beautiful and you have value. Handsome in the back. You are beautiful and you are valuable and you are worthy. And it's not because of what other people say. You're not defined by what other people say. You're not defined by what the world says. You're defined by your creator. Only your creator can really say your value. And so these are some things that I don't know if you've ever told yourself. I know that if you've ever struggled with mental health, these are things that might have come up in your mind of, I'm ugly, God doesn't care about me, or no one cares about me, God doesn't love me, I have no value, or I've messed up way too many times, God won't want me. And this is all very real, and this is all very true, and especially, you know, how many of you have social media? Right? When you're scrolling through the pictures and you see the perfect Instagram influencer, which, by the way, just a side note, ladies, don't ever compare yourself to an Instagram influencer, because I guarantee you it took them at least 50 tries to get that perfect picture. All right, but it's so easy to compare yourself, and so you end up feeling less than and not good enough and not worth it, and all of these thoughts start coming into your head. And how can you combat that? By the second part of the equation, which is truth. Now, these are verses that have helped me when I get these thoughts. I am ugly. In Psalms, it says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And it says, in Psalms talking to God, it says, your works, God, your works are wonderful. And since you are his work, you are wonderful. So when you look in the mirror, you are wonderful. If you wake up with acne, you are wonderful. If you have bedhead, you are wonderful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. God doesn't care about me. There's a verse that talks about how there's not a single bird that falls to the ground that God doesn't know about, and that even the very hairs on your head are numbered. So don't be afraid, because you are more valuable to God than any bird, than any sparrow. That is in the Word of God. God doesn't love you. Maybe most of you have heard this verse, John 3:16. God loved you so much that he sent his son to die for you. In your mistakes, in your brokenness, in your mess, he loved you. I have no value. Quick story or anecdote, not really a story. Do any of you in here love art? Art fans? Like 5 hands. I recently went to a gallery in DC, the National Art Gallery. My cousin loves art. I was just kind of there for the ride. Okay, how many of you know of Picasso? Okay, I don't know if you've ever seen his paintings, his really famous ones that look like a 3-year-old drew them, right?
Yeah, when he first started out.
Yeah, but you know what's really interesting about Picasso's paintings is that even if a 3-year-old had drawn them line by line, color by color, it wouldn't have the same value. And why is that? Because it's not Picasso's painting. Literally, Picasso could paint anything on that canvas, but as long as it has his signature on the bottom of the painting, it's worth millions of dollars. And so in the same way, when you look at yourself right now, I want you to notice that you have your Creator's signature all over you. And so it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter what you think about yourself, you are valuable because of his signature. Actually, it says in Ephesians that you are God's masterpiece and that he created you to do really good things. And then the last one, if you feel like you're too broken and too messed up, God says that he loved you even while you were a mess, even while you were broken, he still came for you. That repeated twice. So in the end, love plus truth equals beauty. His love, his truth. So that, ladies, I'm not saying don't follow the trends. Put on the makeup, put on the dresses, but just don't place your value into what this world says, because you'll never be enough. You'll never measure up. You need something consistent. And for me, that's the Word of God. But I'm so excited to be with you all here today. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoy your facials, ladies. Sounds awesome. But yeah, thank you.
Wonderful job. And I do remember you now from Miss Colorado. Not for anything else, but
For the Colorado.
Miss Colorado. Yeah, because I was trying to remember when you had told me, when they said you were Miss Colorado. I said, oh, now I remember her in the outfit. You were in the...
And she has it too.
Yeah, she was so gorgeous in her whole Miss Colorado outfit.
Well, I asked
was
her to
taking
bring it
pictures-
to.
I was taking pictures of you when we did that at House of Person.
Mm-hmm. Has a purpose, yeah.
I took a lot of pictures of you too.
Well, thank you so much, Anna Gabriella. And so I will close this out. So why am I so crazy about this stuff? I had the acne as a teenager, was reading all those teenage magazines and clearing it up. And I didn't have a household where beauty was valued. My mom grew up in a case where she had a different father, looked different, like literally was the redheaded stepchild. Literally, she had carrot orange hair. She didn't look like anybody else. She had freckles. And so they would always say that her sister was the pretty one and that she was the smart one. So it built up a resentment in her where she's just like, anything beauty is just purposeless. But I was the opposite. I grew up in Dallas, Texas. Everything was the big hair and the makeup and the clothes. So, I was kind of by myself in that place. So she did support me with the acne and tried to help, but medications and things like that didn't work for me. So I really had to learn how to take care of my body, learning how to cleanse my skin. Habits I started at 11 years old and still do now. And so everything was great till I got to high school and joined drill team. And I didn't come from a wealthy family, and so my parents had to pay a lot of money and sacrifice for me to be in drill team and pay the fees. And so the first year was great. I made the team, we had a great instructor, and kind of like the annual health check, they would weigh you in just to make sure your height and weight, it had nothing to do with anything. You just want to know Tamara's 5'3", 115 pounds. This is when I was 15, so I'm not 115 pounds now. I was 15. So anyway, the next year we got a new drill team instructor, and she used those weight and height criteria to determine if you could perform. So right before school started, we did all our practices, and she called me and 8 other girls in and said, "You're overweight." I weighed 119 pounds. And she says, "You're overweight, and unless you lose weight to get beneath 115 pounds, you cannot perform." Well, I was so afraid because my parents spent all this money to put me in here, and I hate that I didn't say anything to my parent. But honestly, I don't think it would have made a difference because there's another girl named Stephanie, and I often wonder about her. She was just a naturally curvy lady. Not everybody's a stick thin person. She was fit, but just curvy. Everything we want now, what people are paying for, it wasn't popular then. So anyway, she did tell her mom. And the lady told, these are the rules. The coach said, these are the rules. And so that put me in a mindset of being overly conscious about weight because I was like, I gotta lose these 4 pounds or I can't perform. My parents are gonna be disappointed in me. And then my friend Stephanie, she never lost the weight. I don't know what the goal was, but she had to sit in the bleachers the whole season because of her weight, and everybody knew why she was sitting there. So imagine what that does to your mind. And so for me, it did a lot to my mind where I developed an eating disorder, but I didn't realize it. Because even in high school, when I would be in the lunch line, you're in high school, you buying chips and cookies, she'd come behind me and say, "Well, you shouldn't eat that. You should be eating at the salad bar. You shouldn't be buying that soda." So it was just pressure, pressure, pressure. And so I went to college with this mindset. Like I said, I started out in journalism. And so I was a teen journalist. They had a lot of community programs, so I had a lot of experience with that. So at that time, I thought, I want to get into TV. I want to be on Entertainment Tonight. I want to be, on Extra, all these fun programs. And all of those women, I looked it up, they had to be a size 2. I've never been a size 2 in my life. So I was already in this mindset, I want to be on TV. I have to diet. I have to do this. And before I knew it, I was obsessed with it. When I went to bed, I was thinking about my weight. When I went out, went to sleep, when I woke up, exercising for hours and hours, counting calories down to the number for about 1.5 years in college when I went away from school. And I still didn't click that you have an eating disorder. I think other people around me knew it, but I just couldn't see it because I was so caught up in it. And so like Anna Gabriella, what was my breakthrough was someone asked me, could they pray with me? Because I was stressed out. I thought I was stressed out about exams. I was exhausted. I had no nutrition in me. How can you live on 800 calories a day and study and work and exercise? It just wasn't working. So that was the first time that someone ever asked me, "Tamara, do you know that God loves you?" And I said, no, because everything I heard about God was that I was in trouble. I better not do anything wrong. So I had no interest in it. And people were surprised to hear me say that because I had no interest in anything with God. But anyway, at that time I prayed. And after that, I asked God to come into my heart. And then from there, I just kind of, my eyes opened. I could see myself. It was like looking in this mirror. And I could see I was underweight. All of my hair, I had long hair. It was thinned out. I had the cystic acne. It was bad. And so just really leaning on my faith, working with my family, looking for some new role models, over time that changed. And don't take that lightly, y'all, because have y'all seen that new show? It's on Apple TV called Physical. Has anybody heard about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
They should graphically depict someone with an active eating disorder. And this woman had it for most of her life. People died from this. So I feel so grateful to be alive, because had I not redirected my life, I might not be here. You can't live like that. So after that, I just really had to, like the same verses that you looked at and others, just saying that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're the apple of God's eye. I knit you together in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I knew you, had a purpose for you. That resonated with me. And I still hold on to that. I mean, you start aging and you're like, Lord, what now? What do I do? So, it really is about putting your faith and your self-esteem in something more than the way you look. And that may sound ironic because we're all beauty professionals. So it does matter. That's why I wanted to do this event. You want to take care of yourself. You want to know how to take care of your skin. It's going to make you feel good inside. And really, to me, beauty is a reflection of what's inside. If you feel good about yourself, it's going to show in your face, it's going to show in your smile, it's going to show in your skin. If you don't feel so good about yourself, how much effort are you going to put into that external? So it all goes together, in my opinion. And so Lift Off Your Beauty is really about, like I said, coming to community, sharing hope, sharing encouragement. I realize that not everyone has the same faith that I do, but we need something beyond what you see on TV to really ground us, to move us forward. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, I just want to thank all of you. I know that I want to quit jabbering so we can get to the fun stuff. And I'm going to turn it back over to Monique to kind of let us know what happens next.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so